We're super excited to introduce Innovative Orchestrator, the first AI super agent for omnichannel advertising. We're bringing humans and AI agents together so that marketers can conduct a symphony across channels to reach their most valuable customers.
AI is not a matter of if, it's a matter of how and when, and we will help you solve that.
Well, thanks, Amanda, and welcome everybody to another session of our AI Marketers Guild webinar series. So I'm Nicola Quayle, one of the co-founders of AI Marketers Guild Asia Pacific, along with my colleagues Daksh Sharma and Anadi Sharma from India and Sushmita Mohapatra from Singapore, all who's recently gone to New York. But great to have you all here, and we're really excited to see this community expand across APAC. So before I introduce our incredible guest speaker, I'll just give those new to the community a quick background of who we are. So AI Marketers Guild was the brainchild of a US marketer called David Berkowitz. And after launching 2 years ago, it's grown to be a significant community in North America. And we reached out to David to partner and create a regional community that showcases local pioneers in AI tools, applications, marketing best practice, and world-class AI thought leaders. And so rather than dabbling on the fringes, we're very excited that everyone here is leaning in. So on that note, I'm really excited to introduce Amanda Jeffs, founder and CEO of Shears AI. So Shears AI is a global ecosystem dedicated to championing women and underrepresented voices in AI. And it's all delivered through media, consulting, education, and community. In the fast-growing organization, it's all about reaching to people globally, starting with the global south, but providing that kind of accessible and ethical AI education. And Amanda's recently received a Stevie Award for her efforts, and I'm proud to be on the Global Advisory Board. So Amanda is going to share her journey today with us all the way from Aotearoa, New Zealand. So welcome, Amanda.
Yeah, thank you for that beautiful intro, Nicola. I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, it's lovely. Thanks for having me, and thanks for being here. Honestly, I'm just going to dive right into it and share my screen because I have so much, fitting how much we could discuss on this topic into 30 minutes. If you know me, we're always going to squash a lot into this sandwich. So I'm just going to dive right in and look, here's the topic of the day that we're speaking to, designing how future-ready marketing cultures and teams in this new era of AI. And there's a lot of talk this year from going from chaos to clarity, and it has been a major theme of what we've been doing this year, and particularly the nature of our end of year summit. So it has been a lens on everything I've been doing, which is brilliant. I could speak to this. I won't dibble on all about me. Nicola's introduced me. So, long career in marketing and business community and even IT. And so I have joy in bringing all these aspects of my career together in applying them to AI in the new era and helping people through Shears AI. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump in, guys. So I just put sections because I like to just frame it so things are really clear as we move through this conversation. And by all means, you can put your hand up or chat or Nicola just sing out. I can just see Nicola's face. So if there's a question or chat, just boop. So introducing this topic, I always start framing AI is the conversation of what it is and what it means for marketers with the lens on, particularly in New Zealand, the people have the not awareness or fear or confusion or what is it. So I like to start with the context, which creates clarity, right? So I believe that marketers who harness AI and use it can redefine how we work and can redefine what is possible. And it is about embracing it. It is today about moving through that fear of the unknown, how we navigate it and what it means, but it won't replace us, but the people who use it will have the advantage on how to leverage it. That is for sure. So here's just some stats. I'm going to be proud of you. We've got some numbers in here for the research aspects of people like numbers. I'm just like the scale of this movement. We know that just almost 88 now, it was 80, now it's almost 90% of marketers are using AI in their daily work, for better or worse. So that I see that number growing. And there is still, we'll talk about it at work, a massive number of organizations getting into it. People are getting it right, people are getting it wrong. Employees are grappling with it, and there's a lot of lack of clarity, but it's massive. It's here. The spend is increasing. The pool is growing. That cannot be denied. So, guys, we've always evolved with technology through marketing, and something I always see. I like seeing, like, from print, here's a flyer, step right up, come and buy your snake oil here, to then up to radio, to TV. Then we had, then the whole world needs a website. Oh, now the whole world needs email marketing. Oh, now SEO is a thing. Oh, now social media is a thing. Oh, now mobile phones are a thing. And now you got to advertise on mobile. Oh, now we automate our emails, everything. Oh, now we're into AI. I mean, God, if this wasn't enough evolution for one marketer in one lifetime, it's always evolving. And I see it as just a new evolution of tools and how we use it. And it's an infrastructure layer. So it is just the next step, right? And that's how I like to see it. A further analogy, we went from horses to cars to machines to AI. I'm trying to say that every shift has felt overwhelming. Fear. I don't need a car. What? I've got a horse. Oh, I don't need a machine. I've got a car. Oh, I don't need this. I don't need a website. I've got the yellow pages, right? Every evolution we have moved through, the ones who adapt and thrive, the women who are jumping into AI with both feet, embracing it. They're the ones that are creating businesses, creating the opportunities. I recently saw some people online that they said, I'm no AI in my business, and they lost heaps of clients. So they said, now I'm not resisting it. I'm now integrating it into my work as a copywriter, and they got more clients. She said, embrace it or leave town, basically. It's like the shift is here, and without replacing people, I'm all about how to strategically make it part of our work, right? So you'll understand the big shift in we're talking about workflows. We've suddenly got a new dialect. We're talking about AI native. We're talking about AEO. We're talking about automating. We're talking about agents. Where a year ago, I think basically that is vernacular, the right word. We're living in a whole new era already of things to navigate, which leads me to the problem. A lot of overwhelm and anxiety. And whether I talk to mums at Play Centre, I talk to professionals in the workplace, we talk to Nicola, we talk to other thought leaders in this community, and people are unsure. Even today, I was in my community call, and they just said, I don't even know what tool to use or where to start. So thank you, Amanda, for putting together this tools list, this framework, this structure. So people are overwhelmed, they're confused, and we're adapting, and there's job insecurity because everyone's getting replaced by AI. It is huge, and we're all navigating it as best we can. There's no magical answers, but I think, like I said, like being aware and looking at how to integrate it in our work, we will at least have some clarity. So yeah, that's just to frame it. And we're all well aware of the pros and cons of this, but I like to look at the vision and how we're going to navigate this. And to keep you all awake, I have dabbled some quotes that I felt inspired by, and kind of wrote and spat out some nice things about how we're seeing AI. And I love to think that you all believe that this is a infrastructure that is here to stay. It will underpin every industry. It is already, I'm talking to people from HR to AI to fashion to tech to insurance to real estate to businesses in every corner of the globe, that AI is now part of their work or their industry, whether they like it or not. Nothing isn't touched. So the role of, I'll put CMO here, but you can basically replace that with marketing team, marketing professional, whatever your role is, looking at how we are future ready, being aware of, I like to think aware of thinking in systems and infrastructure, thinking about human-led marketing, and AI is very tech and tool focused, always putting humans first. We were just talking before about how to lead, the hybrid approach of human-led AI that everyone's talking about, AI for good. We're thinking about infrastructure and systems. We're experimenting, but we're strategic. We're not panicking, running around with our heads cut off and signing up to 15 AI tools. We're being strategic, and we're rapidly evolving with this change, right? So I think it is a mindset for marketers. A couple of more shifts from transforming. The G got cut off in marketing. That's really cool. So automation is, if it's done well, becomes invisible. I know some companies, like I follow Molly Mahoney. She's got like an automation workflow for her marketing. It's like 95 like nodes and strings on it, and just her whole system is automated, but it's works so well in the background. It's pretty much invisible, and you think she's speaking to you on every channel every day, and then she showed us it's all automated. It just blows my mind. So that's a way of saying content is moving from manual creation, to orchestrating a multi-channel automated marketing engine with AI that is completely doesn't need you across 95 touch points. The robot has done it. It is already redefining customer journeys, chatbots. It's learning faster than we can. It's answering your FAQs to customers. It's just, I think some of this is just smart. And the human piece is the amplifying our creativity, and the ethical human-led piece becomes really where we're going to differentiate. This is just backing up as a leadership mindset. You can choose fear and deny AI, or you can choose leadership and move into the future. And I think we only know what the only viable option is, for me anyway. So in terms of the team culture and trust, whether you're a leader or an employee or whatever your role is, I think we can all relate to this, the fact that it's organizational readiness and adoption and understanding it from a business leader perspective, and also the staff are scribbling if there's guidelines, if there's no guidelines, and anywhere in between. So for teams, we're thinking about how we must learn fast, adapt faster. AI is exponential is the word I'm looking for, the growth curve ever before in the history of humanity. Right, I've got that's Trump hands going on. I'll put my hands down. So we need clarity on an infrastructure and use cases and needs to then define what systems and AI are going to support our work, and think like, I've said, become creative directors, to think like the creative leader, because that is the human piece. It can automate all the rest of the things, but when you're the director and the orchestrator, then you start to think. Like, I've got a couple of our team at Shares AI as an example, who are the builders, and they build with AI. And I say to them, how would we make this work? And look at it, and their brains go cog, and they build the whole thing, and they're thinking like builders. They're building workflows. They don't just think in pieces of content. They think in the infrastructure and the build and the automation and the channel and the and how it all comes together. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then like an hour later, they've built an entire landing page. They build an MVP on base 44 or something. They've coded a workflow in Native. And then they come back to me and they're like, spat that out. I've got an app here. I've done this landing page here. Spat that thing out in Gamma in 2 minutes. I'm like, wow, oh my God. And so it's improved our onboarding. It's improved information, landing pages, workflows. And, here's your data in Airtable. I've connected it to Native, and this is all here. It pulls through here. If it's blowing my mind, it is going to blow other people's mind. And I'm kind of know what I'm talking about. So, there's, so many ways to kind of understand. But I'd like to touch on shadow IT, which is basically we're finding a lot of staff using AI tools without the IT guidance or approval or oversight. One, sometimes it's because organizations are saying no AI and the employees are using it anyway. Secondly, some companies are like, we don't know how to use it. What is AI? And then the staff are like, I need the help. So I'm just jumping in and using ChatGPT without your guidance, putting in all our secure company data in there for the world to find. Yeah, it's great. I'm spitting out this and that, and then it's wonderful. And there's no guidelines. There's no guardrails. IT is behind. So it reckons 93% of organizations has already dealt with at least one shadow AI incident of someone at work using AI without approval, right? Yeah, I mean, so I don't work somewhere, so AI is just part of my life. I want to use a tool, I just use it. But when you're at work, there should be, for those of you who are in the AI leaders space, some sort of policies and guidelines about how to help your staff enable them to use AI to be part of their work. But you have to start with your strategy, and we'll get into that, so that you are enabling them to use it. Be aware of the security risks. Like, I haven't got a whole slide on this, but you know, we'd recently showed someone, they were and we had a teacher friend, she was putting all her exams into ChatGPT, marking them without like the security. And then we were like, you know, all the students could, if they figured that out, you're doing that, go in there and get the exam questions, search them up, get all the answers, because you put everything in there. And they're like, oh. And then other people are like, the one that put all of the secret company data in ChatGPT, and it was totally wrong, and it missed out half the data, so they lost the client contract because it wasn't right. And then IT was like, that's why we told you not to use ChatGPT. And I'm sure you all heard lots of horror stories, but I think when we come from a place of when you have some guardrails and policies, train your staff, and we're not scared of replacing our staff. We're training them to use the tools that are part of their job. Like you would train your staff to use Xero. You trained your staff to use Marketo, didn't you? Or HubSpot, or a CRM. We're not, oh my God, CRMs are going to take our job. You're just training me how to use the tools I need to do my job. So I hope you can all either do that for your team or advocate for your managers or bosses or in your workplace. Think about that. I think these are the same stats. So just put them in there for the people that really like stats. But yeah, look, that many people have admitted they secretly use AI at work, even when they're not allowed to. Someone said to us recently, it's the Wild West out there in AI. You guys have probably seen that. It's like literally the Wild West. And they're just, woo, everyone's going for it. So next year, sometime in the next probably 9 months to 18 months, I don't know, I'm just guessing. If you look at the futurists are saying the very small window of Wild West time before we evolve and get strategic. If you think about the early days of social media, pet memes for everyone, social media pages for everyone, yeah, Wild West, cyberbullying for everyone. And then we got strategic, didn't we? And then we go, oh, we've actually got to have a content strategy. Oh, we're actually a business who's using a tool. And then we settled down and got strategic. Now it's just like AI for everyone, ChatGPT for everyone, GPTs for Africa, everyone gets one. Yay! Wild West, there's people selling shit left, right, and center. That will settle down and become strategic, and so will it at work. We'll be responsible and strategic. Anyway, I digress. So responsible guidelines for marketing, I think. There is a work on values-led usage. So as an example, at Shares AI is doing an entire AI ethics manual and workbook, nearly 96 pages long, that goes into how to let our staff know how to choose tools that are ethical, how to work in values-aligned usage. For example, you've got people in different cultures in the workplace. How do you check AI for biases? How you create imagery that doesn't reflect inherent bias in a white male CEO? Over and over again. How do you train the AI and to have diverse, authentic imagery? How are you protecting your data, knowing that you can turn controls on and off in your AI and what it's reading? For a start, privacy controls and your documentation. So as we're getting ChatGPT is now our core of everything's in there. We're putting documents in there, open slather, our emails, our conversations, our secret diary, everything in what you're going to feed the internet. Where's that data going to go? So that's one side, how you're protecting yourself and your data. But the other side, I know that there are controls now that on businesses' websites, you have to specify if, you know, how you're managing that data, not just their emails, but now their AI data. You've got your cookies, you've got privacy policies, so many things as a business to be aware of. And yeah, look, there's even tools I found the other day, an AI tool that learns your business's Google Drive and will help you with version control of documents and tidy up your documentation processes in Google Drive. So when we've got an overwhelm of documents and processes and a messy back end, and you've got final 1, final 2, final 3, and then you've got, oh, where's that document? I can't find it. You're humans working together with so many tools. Now there's tools to help you clean up how you work with all your files across the tools. So being aware of all of these pieces that sound boring, but I've actually got someone in ShareZai helping me clean this up, which is actually part of a process we're going to get to in a minute of your evolution of using AI to actually do these pieces. And continual learning, always part of workplace upskilling and learning for marketers, just should be that you are just knowing what's going on at the cutting edge, just like you breathe and eat breakfast. AI is disrupting everything, but it is exposing what is broken and showing us what can be reinvented. That's how I see it. It is meant to disrupt what should be disrupted and crumble what should be crumbled so that we can build new things and new systems that are better. I'm aware of time, so I'm going to try to keep going fast because I'm going through a process in a minute. So even thinking about how new AI marketing teams are structured. In the old days, when you now had to adapt your marketing team to include a social media manager. Now we're talking about including an AI manager, an AI marketing strategist, an AI implementation specialist, prompt engineers, workflow architects. Like the way that we're thinking about a marketing team now has to shift to whole new jobs have been created and tasks that we now have to incorporate. Just like we did with social media is the best example I have. Just we thought it was a tack on. Now it is a fundamental marketing role. AI is just replacing the parts of marketing that were never probably meant to be done by us before, or that really awful, inane, boring shit that we can automate and make all our lives better because I know that we're all too busy anyway. So I believe that let's go back and create some white space in our jobs and automate that because I know marketers are busy enough. So this is a chunk that I really want to talk you guys through. And after that, I've got some nice case studies and things like that if we've got time. This is a quote about clarity because I think clarity is such a key. And this right now is the phase of you are preparing to either adapt AI and get clear or be left behind. And a leadership or a marketing professional, be clear and understand AI, you will lead in this space. So here's a 0 to 5 framework I put together for you guys. I'm hoping it makes sense to you. Level 0, ground level, confusion. But level 1, the foundation, you're building a core AI system. Maybe you have a basic AI operation. Maybe you have some GPTs, something like that. Level 2, you're turning tasks into now workflows as supporting by AI. So you've automated some things. So you're taking the human out of that manual loop. Level 3, you've got more consistency. Now I'm talking about how you do documentation and measuring and automation. Level 4 is a bigger level, more about complete team AI literacy and cybersecurity and a culture that is AI first at the workplace. Not a tack on, not someone in the corner doing it, but the whole team. And then scaling. At the level, I'm talking about Molly Mahoney scaling a 95-piece automation workflow and an entire marketing engine works without her. I think she's at level 5. That's the framework I'll just quickly run you guys through. If you want to put in a chat as you go through the stages, who is in what stage, or if you've got a question. So I know what stage I think she's at. Stage 0, really unstructured. We're experimenting. It's inconsistent. Most people, women, coaches, marketers, mums, whatever, are dabbling. They're trying. They're prompting badly. Trial and error. We know businesses that have implemented agents that totally fucked everything up and they had to rewind them all. It's inconsistent. I do marketing copy. You might get a bit random. It's a bit hit and miss. You have to go back. No, rewrite this. No, rewrite this. It's you trying this tool, trying that tool, right? Confusion to curiosity kind of phase, which most people are in this space, right? We got to start somewhere. Stage 1, building the foundation. So this is what I've spent a lot of this year doing. Building a foundation or understand, your brand voice, you're training the AI in your brand clarity. So as a marketer, you'd have content pillars, you have your brand voice, you have your target audience, your customer personas, you know your ethics guidelines, your policies, your templates, your workflows, you know your products, you know your revenue streams, you know your business goals, da 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 da. And then you starting to put those systems into the AI to kind of build them out to support that. I mean, Shares AI has done a bit of that. For example, just training the AI in our brand voice, our customer pillars. And so we consistently spit out content and strategies and documents that we barely have to edit because it understands our brand so well. We've also done a lot on making sure that Shares AI is AEO is really good. So when you type in ChatGPT, tell me about Shares AI, everything it's going to tell you is right exactly what I want it to say to you because I've trained it that much. It knows who we are and what we do. So this is the foundational pieces that we've spent a lot of time clarifying and setting up. What that means is we're leading into stage 2 and 3 because I've set up Airtable, I've set up Natin or a Notion workboard or something. And we've set up the back end so that then we can build a workflow. You can't build a workflow when you don't know what's going on. So the first thing I did is write down a list of where are we at, what's messy, clean it all up. Then basically you can move through, okay, everything is clear and set up, ready for us to build a workflow. So now we're at stage 2, where you can see tasks you need to do over and over again, and you're turning them into workflows in Natin or something like that. For example, you have content systems because now you're clear about your business's objectives and content pillars, and you know what you have to say every day. So now you've got a content system. You've got workflows and GPTs and robots and basically AI staff for every task, right? So you're using AI to enhance your workflows and increasing your capability in your work. You may have a pitch deck writer, you may have a copywriter, you may have a business strategy, GPT, whatever it is, you've got a little workforce helping you. Even more so, stage 3, I think I wrote down, this is the professionalization stage. So the chaos is gone and you're bringing in clarity and consistency and alignment. This is where I think Shares AI is now, with having a team that does automations and helping me work through some of this bit. So we've written a whole SOP. We've got the software, we've got documentations, we've got templates at the wazoo. We've got the company GPT, we've got the brand voice, nailed everything. Now we're putting in ethical frameworks and policies and guardrails, and we're putting in more AI-driven processes. So, for example, we're implementing all our data, cleaning up all our data, putting it in Airtable, sorting it out, and so that we could just drill out any data that we want and spit out whatever it is. So instead of 50 Google Sheets, you've got one platform that Natin can then pull data from and make a workflow. And that creates consistency, saves time, and you automate your processes. So that, if that makes sense, that's kind of where we are. Stage 4. Now, after stage 3, there is not many companies or anyone that is at this point, honestly, globally. This is where your whole team has buy-in to AI. The boss right down to the intern, whatever. Everyone is right there with, we get AI, we know how we do it, we're all AI literate, we've all done the training, we have clear expectations, policy, guidelines, and we're thinking about AI, we live it and breathe it. I think social media did go through the same evolution with my job at AUT. We went through, what is AI? To like, oh, let's do AI and share some cat memes. And then we evolved, and then we got more strategic, and then we automated it. Then we structured a social media first mindset from the top down that enabled the whole organization to adopt social media. And then everyone was trained in it. So everyone is aware, everyone thinks about it. And now social media is just top of everyone's mind. I see the same evolution of AI. To me, that's very similar path. In stage 5, marketing engines at scale, the likes of you know what Molly and Gary Vaynerchuk is, everything is multiple channels orchestrated. It's all AI first. They've got dashboards. automations and agents out the wazoo. They're nailing it. That's like, ooh, the ultimate goal. So cool. Yeah, it's when you get the clarity and you get someone that just understands that, then you can build that all out. And it takes a bit of work to just chunk away building these things out. But then once you're there, oh my gosh, that'd be a whole new world. And then imagine what your team or you could do with that time that you've freed up by thinking about that. So I want you guys to learn quickly, experiment boldly, and lead. This is, and I'm aware of time, so you can stop me anytime, but I just want to say, like, this is a journey that you'll all go through that phase from fear to complete flow and automation in your business. And I hope in 2026 that could be a goal. Also looking at you, Nicola, to actually like do this for all of our own businesses, and try to just nut out one thing or work through those 5 steps. Just go up one rung. Like, yeah, I think that would be a good goal. So I want you guys leaving you with some tips just to sum up. Don't think with tools first. Go back to Nikki Sweeney talks about it as well. She's in Australia. You guys probably all know her. She's amazing. She also talks about start with the need, and then you figure out what your use cases are. Then you look at it as an infrastructure layer, and then you go and then choose the tools, just like you would at work. Oh, we need a CRM. Why? Because the need is to store our customer data. Then you go, which CRM do we need? You don't start with the CRM and then, oh, why did we buy this one? What's it for? The same process applies to AI tools. So I'd start with the goal. That's what this slide's trying to say. Start with your goal or your need. And then how can you solve those problems? And then look for the tools and then turn these things into workflows. Monica also does the same thing. She says, list out your repeatable tasks that you could work for. Others actually says Thursday on the slide. So Thursday, I don't know why it was Monday to Thursday, just trying to make it easy. Look at where you could get a robot to do a repeatable task for you and then look at how to automate it. If you do the same thing every day all week, get a robot to do it for you, please. Look at just experimenting with different AI tools, not to get overwhelmed, but once you know what you need, look at a couple of them and just try. Like, oh, I need a cold outreach tool and then I found 5 of them and I'm doing side-by-side experiments with the best AI automated cold outreach tool. And I like Apollo, actually. I've also experimented with using Fixer AI, which goes through your entire email inbox and drafts all the emails that you need to reply to and tags them, like waiting to hear back, needs follow-up, event, draft, boom. So you go through it, and I came back to my inbox after like a few minutes, 15 draft emails, all tagged, boom. Oh my God, isn't that amazing? Instead of scrolling through, da. So get Fixer. Look at different tools like that. In our Shares Our School, I have a whole ebook and a whole list of tools and things you can use. But just picking out one thing each day or each week to chip off and understand and look at is a great way to do it. So what you can do tomorrow, start small, start simple. I've pretty much spoken to that. Really upskill your team or go and get upskilled. Just go nuts. Just dive in and understand it. Yet there was one, who was it in Shizai? And she was the only one at the whole workplace. It was a massive workplace. It's like embarrassingly large in America. And she was like, I just stepped in and I was the only one there that knew anything about AI. And she did even something really simple. And they were like, this is amazing. So if you're the person that even understands AI in your team, oh my God, you just lead them into the future. But there are some people also doing it really badly. So I just want you guys to be educated and really smart about it. Just reinforcing my messages. This is just trying to say you need a clean, connected tech stack, just like what you would with your CRM, your website, your email marketing. You're just adding on an AI tool that is just going to help your marketing team deliver results or processes. Like it could just be an automated customer service bot, or you could just automate one thing. What do you need? Build it out and keep it simple. You don't have to reinvent the whole world. but start somewhere. So when you're not thinking that, oh my God, everything's an AI tool, I have to adopt the whole thing. No, just start with one use case, or one tool. This is just one integration that we're looking at as Shares AI. So all we get input data from Typeform for all our different inputs. So people apply to things. It goes into Airtable. That data gets then pulled into Nathan for different workflows and different use cases, if it's different partners or ambassadors or applications or whatever it is. And then Nathan sorts it out for us. And then we've got custom GPT to support like different, wherever that data goes into our CRM. It either goes into Notion or into Go High Level or whatever. So everything is just running in the background instead of me looking at 15 different spreadsheets, manually copying and pasting names and addresses like hello, goodbye, 80s. Yeah. So just looking for, I might end there because it's just that's the bulk of what I really want to share with you guys. And there is just other case studies and a bit about Shares AI. But I feel like just ending on, look, we're heading towards a future where we're trying to do what matters, what moves the dial and what makes a difference in our work. And we're just amplifying our work, and putting your lens on, I'm a human, we're creativity, we're ethics, human first. We're creating high intent, high trust, human-led operations, and we're delegating what can be delegated to AI, or like I call it, amplifying your work. So I think I'll stop there. I'm Nicola, just looking at the time and see if anyone did want to chime in. I've just got some lovely other quotes and slides, but I think that's really the bulk of what I wanted to share.
Honestly, Amanda, I've been just slacking with the team going, we need this, we need that tool. And so we can certainly follow up with everybody afterwards. But feel free to, if you've got any questions, raise your hand or pop it in the chat. But Amanda, you have started a global community that has rapidly taken off. And, you talked earlier about, social media and CRMs and mobile, but, I don't recall a Shares CRM organization or a Shares social media organization or a Shares mobile. So what prompted you to, or I guess drove you to go, we need something like this in the world?
Good question. I'm just going to skip to the slide. Shares AI, it might speak to that.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. Lovely quote. I was seeing the need for a few reasons why I leapt to this. One, because I was already a marketer and I was already doing all these things, and this, in a nutshell, felt like a next evolution from the basically, I've been through the build a website era, build a social media presence era, now we're building an AI era. And I am, one, passionate about cutting edge technology. Two, I love community and working with people and helping people understand things and evolve. I think after digging into learning about AI, some things stood out to me, like, I'm not going to go the cliches, but the gap in tech, where I'm still seeing a lack of women in tech. I'm seeing women that want to create opportunities that either don't know how, don't have the time, or don't have the money. I'm seeing AI being democratizing access to tools for people to create new opportunities at lower cost, making things easier for women all around the world to create their own business or do work. Me personally, as a busy mum, I was like, I can work with AI, save myself 20 hours a week and do that work that I know would have taken me 40 hours. I can do in 2. And that has enabled me to build a business around having a baby and now a toddler. So what does that open up for women or new careers or busy marketers to open up time to do better work or more work, or open up what we do want to create that we love? Shares AI is built around this ethical human first AI. One, because we're talking today, like we're talking before, there's all this blingy tech stuff. Who is helping people navigate the human side, the ethical side, I looked at the stats, this is disrupting 90 million jobs, but it is creating 197 million jobs. So who is retraining all of those people? Who is helping them navigate this shift? And as I said to someone the other day, when Microsoft came along and said, here's a computer, and now you all use Microsoft Word, and now everyone in the world has a computer. Sit down and use a computer now, everyone. Who do you think educated all those people? Who do you think taught everyone to use Microsoft Word and Excel and PowerPoint that we all now live and breathe? Someone had to help people navigate that shift and run the computer class. So in a very simple analogy, ShareZai is here to help people move towards the future of work. It is here to try and reduce the digital divide between youth and women and inequality between different countries. It came from me talking to women in China and Asia and Africa who do not have the access to what women in the USA have by economic reasons or zones or otherwise. It came from me as a female founder, seeing that I kept not having access to funding in the US or business opportunities in the US because we don't live there. And I said to someone like, what does it mean for AI and the computer to enable access to other people to have a chance who don't live in those bubbles? So I don't know, that's a multiple way to answer your question, but this is just the next huge shift that I guess it just felt like natural for me because someone has to help humanity navigate all this.
Fantastic. And feel free, anyone else, to jump in, but I have more questions. So, you talked earlier about sort of ethics and AI, and, as we were saying, AI has developed a really comprehensive ethical, almost charter, if you like. I feel that is, or I hypothesize that is something that marketers are still, as you say, some of them are still at stage 0 or stage 1, where they're just kind of grappling with the tools, let alone, oh my gosh, now I've got to think about the ethics. So why is it important for marketers to think about ethical use of AI?
That is a very good question. I don't know if this was in a slide. I didn't really flesh that out very much, but for one reason, I'm trying to recall what is in the manual. So there's a lot of, if I use the example, it's going to sound really bad, but we have a lot of people from different countries in our team and organizations. And it has become clear to me as a white woman who does not deal with these problems that AI does not always reflect people of different cultures or an understanding of different cultures. It is, as with the internet and using any tool for good, we're trying to use AI for good, which means like we're not here to spam. We are here to cater for humans. We are here to use tools built for good. So we now, part of the policy is using AI tools that are built with ethical values and guidelines behind them, and that people won't use tools they don't feel work for them or their culture or aren't built ethically or have sustainable practices behind them. So part of ethics is this sustainable, or are we burning up the ocean using this tool, using these data centers? So what does it mean for our sustainability and values? Part of the ethics guidelines is about values. So at ShareZai, we do put an emphasis on human first, cultural adaptation, understanding how AI can help us work together across continents, how we build trust with people in different cultures. And I was going to make another point, but there's many points, like how we're prompting to create different content. Is it undoing bias or reinforcing bias? So there's a few, like I didn't know that women of color couldn't get images easily out that looked like them. I didn't know the AI is just going to constantly spit out pictures of white male CEOs, and that most of the blingy images that I'm a woman in front of a jet plane, I've made 10K this year, wonderful images. Most of them are going to training the data on AI girlfriends. So how that doesn't fit with me ethically. And Nikki Sweeney said that I do not make images like that because it's ethically not aligned to training the AI, to train the data, to make more AI girlfriends, giving a fake picture of life that doesn't exist. That ethically does not sit with me. So you'll see my pictures of me, but at a desk or something realistic, or it has to be authentic to me, what I create, because I do not want to reinforce stereotypes that does not fit with my values. All of these sorts of things are kind of in there that people need to be aware of, or we blindly go, oh, let's make another picture of me in front of a jet plane. Oh, you know where that data's going? Oh, you've just made another AI girlfriend for someone on the internet. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, I'm going to sign up for this AI tool. Oh, did you know that they really have a really unethical practices in the back end and really unsustainable, model how they operate? Oh, no, I didn't. So we blindly stumble along thinking about what it means for people in different cultures. And part of it is just how to prompt in a way that speaks to different people and different cultures. And we spent a lot of this year trying to prompt for diverse imagery and diverse wording in AI. Officially, as AI is a global organization, and I personally got feedback from women in Uganda and Thailand and things like that, so that I make sure that we're talking and representing people in a values-led way. Is probably a long answer, but it's all of that in a bundle. So I think when you're looking at it with that lens, don't just stumble on and use the next cool, hot, blingy tool or trend that you see online. Stop and think what you're training or what you're feeding when you do that.
Hi everyone. So I've recently joined a startup myself, and every time I say AI, and the founders are like, "Oh yeah, now he'll start his yap," because I'm like a pro AI person in my team. So which use case do you think will be most effectively convince founders that AI is worth investing in? Like, as you said, and we take it by the word that you don't have to have like a very complex AI stack. It can be like a very linear, basic one. So if we switch places, when you are in my shoes, which I would say process or what implementation will you do that will be not expensive, but yeah, effective for making the founders believe that AI is a value add?
Okay. There's two angles that maybe founder, as you mean a founder like investment in an AI tool, but there's also what would make business owners further invest in AI to help their team, right? There's a couple of angles. And one, I know probably that there's still some resistance to even convincing people to get the buy-in to put money behind an AI. So it's a fair question. One, from your team, from a business perspective, I've got someone in Thailand that runs a huge manufacturing company, and they optimize, like manufacturing is all about efficiency, right? And she was it like 20 or 80%? It was something, it was probably the opposite of what I'm saying. Used AI to automate a task that was really manual and basically just chopped the time off that task so much it made a difference in that manufacturing business. Even using Gemini, or they use ChatGPT, or just time saving for staff. When you know that I've seen 65 to 70% of improvement in productivity and time savings for employees at work, that's not to be sneezed at when teams, particularly in New Zealand, are already overstretched and overworked. So as a business owner, or even as a founder, you're going to go, hello, it's a no-brainer if I can either save time or save my employees time. Using an AI tool, you start again with your use case and what you need and where the problems are in your business. One legal firm found the legal secretary was spending 20 hours a week transcribing notes, typing them, copying into the computers. And oh my God, they automated all that, saved her 20 hours a week. And they said, wow, now what else do you want to do? And now she's reinvented her job and is so much more productive. And it was simply by using a transcribing AI legal software and ChatGPT or something. So those are all no-brainers to me. So one tool could replace, staff. One side, I don't want to replace people with AI, but as a business owner, if there are inefficiencies in a business that you want to improve, that you could take a really dumb part of someone's job and automate it and save time and money, you could do that even with one tool or a couple of tools like Nathan to automate a task, or ChatGPT to write a proposal that would take someone 40 hours, now can do it in 2 hours. That's just sensible so that person can get along and do a better job on something else. I think there's ways to increase ROI and revenue in the way that if you automate something and get better returns from it, or a customer service chatbot that would improve your customer service, that learns and improves the answer, you're going to get a positive result from doing that may work better. That A, it's quicker, and B, is probably better than a human emailing back and forth questions, or humans get annoyed or don't do good customer service, but the robot is always going to show up at 100%, always online, always positive, always helpful, and is going to learn and probably provide better customer service. Automating your cold outreach, so I could send like 1,000 emails in one moment to cold outreach and get more clients for $12 a month instead of doing it manually. Like, hello. I don't know if that's answering your question. From that perspective, if that's fair, we could go on, but lots of business.
So it answered it. Like the one that stuck with me was if you just help convert the dumb jobs that a lot of people are doing, automate them, all of them, and save time and show productivity. I think that'll do the job. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thank you, Nadi.
great.
I know almost running out of time, but we have got one more question from Dax. Did you want to jump on, Dax? I know you're driving, aren't you? I think.
Hi, Amanda. I hope am I audible? I'm actually in a basement right now.
Yeah,
So
you're
I hope you
audible.
guys can. Awesome. So, Amanda, quick context. So, for the last 2 years, I've been trying to push use cases for Gen AI adoption amongst marketers. And one of the things that I'm seeing is that, earlier back in the days, marketers were, investing in a lot of AI wrappers, as we may say so, like a GPT wrapper for content and stuff like that. You talked about the use case of customer service automation. While, obviously that is a great use case, and we have been also building a lot of agents around that. What I do see is currently, CMS are struggling for budgets. Like I've been talking to large B2B companies when it comes to AI adoptions, like optimization of business workflows. It's not really clear where exactly the budget is sitting in, who's owning the budget. So are you, seeing some of these trends and challenges in your conversations, with prospects and, in your part of the world?
That's budget's a good question. Someone even asked me, like one of my partners that's goes, oh, well, how much is this going to cost and what it is? And I am seeing significant cost savings, to be honest, with many AI tools. There is as little as $20 to $50 a month for one AI tool that you would traditionally spend $4,000 to $15,000 on one agency piece of work, right? I could get for $50 a month in a subscription and some credits. So again, not to disrupt agency model, but that's a huge budget saving. I'm seeing giving away our secrets almost between $1,000 and $2,000 a month on AI tools to run the company. All the marketing tech stack, to be honest, for $1,000 to $2,000 a month. That's different than enterprise, when I know that we were spending $10K, $20K a month on the marketing tech stack. So you got to add anywhere from $200 or $300 up to $1,000 a month on a full suite of AI tools, right, in your tech stack. So you're probably adding on anywhere from $50 to a few hundred, depending on how involved you want to get. I have yet to see any AI tool cost more than $50, $100, $150 a month, to be honest. So it's pretty cheap. Who owns that budget? I don't know. If you've got an AI infrastructure manager or a marketing manager is probably going to be looking at the AI tools in the budget line. Probably a bigger enterprise. Look, here's some budget stats just so I looked up so I get a better idea for you. Companies are startups under 50 employees are spending anywhere up to 10K to 60K a year. So it's less than $1,000 or $2,000 a month. And if that helps, 200K to $1 million annually for mid-sized companies, enterprise, how high you want to go. But yeah, did that answer it? I mean, you can start very minimally and scale up, but it's pretty huge cost saving from what I have seen.
And you're right, the ROI, when people start to measure that, and even in FTEs or part-timers, it's huge. Well, I could sit here for another hour and ask you even more questions, but Amanda, but I think we have to let everybody go. But thank you so much. That has been absolutely fantastic. And it was great even me learning a bit more about Shares AI, but also the different ways that, the journeys that marketing departments are on or marketers are on, and kind of seeing that it's we know the message and the urgency of like, oh yeah, okay, we're getting there, but it feels like there's a tipping point, and it's like if you don't dive in now, then you are going to get left behind.
Yes, basically, Nicola. But from me, thank you very much, and thanks for your really thoughtful questions, guys, and thank you for being here to listen. That was really wonderful.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Amanda. Go and enjoy your evening and enjoy everybody's afternoon. Thanks.